By my right arm alone, I will do it. That was the line that Ajax said in his stubborn-headedness to refuse the help of the gods. He was determined to go it alone, to such arrogance that he would do it single-handedly. And when he died, when he lost his armor, the full armor of God, he lost his armor in battle. His blood went into the earth and a plant sprouted up. And on that plant were two letters, A-I. Those were the initials in that time period for Ajax. Those initials were A-I. And A-I in that time was the word for woe. So I want to do some time traveling. We're going to start way back. Off the top of my head, I don't know if Ajax is Iliad or the Odyssey. I think he's at the Odyssey. Yeah, he's the end of the Odyssey, I believe. And I want to go into the Revolutionary War. And we're going to do a verse off of just one verse off of the Star Spangled Banner. And I believe that some of these lyrics have some steganography. And even the Star Spangled Banner that we hold so dear, it has some symbolic significance, conceivably. This is interpretive, so do not take this as definitive. So the Star Spangled Banner, the Stars and the Stripes, when I read the story of Typhon, I could visualize some of the characteristics of Typhon in our Star Spangled Banner. I believe it's 50 flaming eyes. The feet are like serpents. This is very possibly the birthing. The Typhon story could be the birthing of Venus. This could be an early account of what of the Heros Gamos. When Venus was born, there were streamers coming off of. It was like a comet, and the streamers coming off of Venus would have been much like Medusa's hair. This is a fact. Typhon is symbolized with the peace sign. V. Typhon, 2 fingers. This is a Aleister Crowley mudra that he gave to Winston Churchill as a symbol of victory against the swastika. All of this was symbol warfare. But that was World War II. So let's jump back to this Revolutionary War. And these lyrics here, I believe, are steganographically indicating that the land of America was going to be a Venus-friendly new territory. And anybody who is in the group, anybody of the hidden hand, 5 fingers, would be welcome in the new land to practice their covert goddess worship. So just a few notes. And the refuse could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight and the gloom of the grave, and the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. So we have 5 V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 V's. And I know that seems a little like a far stretch, a bridge too far for some. But I would highlight, he skipped this V, and he didn't have to. But it's, in all copies that you look, that V is absent. And if that V were there, it would have been 6. So I do believe that there was definitely a nod to Venus encoded in this song. And it was an invitation for a covert invitation for goddess worshippers to come and do their thing. And I want to point out, home, star. Home is a pentagram. You can draw it less pentagonally. But regardless, a house, Beth. Beth is a pentagram. Star, obviously. This word sure stood out in my mind. Refuse. Being saved. Savior in refuse. That may have to do with the placenta. It very well may have to do with the placenta. The house, the tent, the barashit. Just another side note, we have 5 ands, which is to say, to make connection, to bond. They didn't have DNA back then, but the Bible sure did have a lot of ands, and per se, and that's the amphora. So just pointing all of this out, we have a lot of Venus symbolism, and we have a lot of placenta symbolism, and we have very significant little apostrophe going on there. So that was a long time ago. Culturally, in the cultural context of what I posit with this little verse, I'm not insinuating that anybody had nefarious intentions. Back in that time, we're from a whole nother context here in the 2000s. But we do know that the, Star-Spangled Banner is covered in this symbol. 50 of them. All right, I'll step away. So moving forward into the Enneagram. This is the Enneagram. You should look it up. You can read on it. My first dive into this symbol was so in-depth and so compelling. I am still yet, even with, I've got some books, I've done some perusing on it. That first take was mind-boggling. The personality dynamics that were explained to me they sold me. I was quite sold. This is a personality matrix. I've heard critics say that it's not. I've heard critics say that this is Egyptological god, pantheistic deity worship. And that may be the case as well. There's a lot going on, but what we have here is the vortex math. The 3, the 6, and the 9 are separated from the rest of the numbers. There is deep symbology. I'm not going to go into the full gist of it, but this is what the Enneagram looks like. It is 1 through 9, which is an alchemical wedding. Those are opposites. And right now we're dealing with CV 1-9. On 9-11, we were dealing with some alchemical weddings, the 2 towers, spiritual and the temporal. So, CV, I've already pointed out in the past, that's 3-2-2. That's the skull and douche bones. I do give those guys nefarious credit. That's a death cult. Those guys don't have anything good to contribute as far as I'm concerned anymore, especially with the degree of regulatory capture that they practice. So 1-9, that's AI. A lot of people say that's artificial intelligence, but that could go all the way back to, by my right arm alone, I will do it. That could be indicating woe. And that's what I see. I think artificial intelligence is better off in fiction. So, quick side note, CFDCAP, Center for Disease Control and Protection. CAP. There's that CAP. There's that sacrificial CAP. Isn't that something? Just pointing it out. It's in the public, and it means more than they're putting it out as. And last little stenographic note, we've got ourselves a lovely little anagram here. And one little trick about anagrams is you don't always get the perfect spelling. Sometimes you gotta misspell just to get the sounds right. But that says exactly what you think it says, and it sure does line up with this individual's behavior, don't you think? All right, folks. So you don't have to do it with your right arm alone. Now you got your right brain in the game too. Much love, y'all. Strength.